Hi everyone, it's Laura from Outdoor Beginner. I'm experimenting with these group coaching calls because I have heard from a lot of people that you prefer a more affordable option than one-on-one coaching, and also that one-on-one coaching is kind of overkill for what you need or too high pressure to have all the attention just on you. So I came up with the idea for this group coaching kind of cohort of every 3 months. You can sign up for group coaching, which includes a bunch of things, but these video calls is kind of a way to have more regular access to coaching advice, but also give you a time to find community with each other, talk about what's going on with running, and also be able to ask me any questions. So I'm going to make these calls free for the foreseeable future, just to be able to give people a preview of what they might get out of group coaching. And I'd really value your advice on how I can continue making options that are in a price point that works for you, that are compelling enough that you want to pay for them, and are actually helpful to you in giving you an inclusive and low pressure way to get into running, to maintain your running and keep your momentum going. I hope these videos are useful, and here is my talk about pacing yourself. Today's topic is pacing yourself. If you have ever come to an in-person clinic with me before, you know that I talk about rate of perceived exertion a lot, or RPE for short. So let's take a quick look at a rate of perceived exertion scale. So rate of perceived exertion takes you from down here, minimal effort, all of us just sitting here enjoying this call, or all the way up to an all out at a 10 out of 10. We don't want to be doing that on most of our runs. And I think the biggest mistake that most people make, especially when they're getting started in running, is going too hard and staying kind of in this middle ground of like a 6 to 7 to really be able to gently introduce yourself into running and then also ultimately progress. You do need to go more slowly. So you want to be down in this 3 to 4 zone, like maybe a 5 if you are going uphill, but you should be staying in a 3. Easy maintained conversation. You feel like you could do this for an extended period of time, and at the end of the run you should feel like that was a great way to move my body. I could do it again if I needed to. You should be able to go about your day. When you start getting up into constantly overdoing it, just even if you're just overdoing it a little bit, then that can really hinder your progress. One, it's going to make you burn out and not have as much fun running. The point of running to me is to enjoy moving your body. So if you're kind of always overdoing it, you're going to burn out and not feel like you're having fun. You should be able to be at an easy enough effort most of the time that, again, it shouldn't feel like you're completely spent and can't go about your day afterward. Also, you're not giving your body time to ever really adapt to the stimulus of running. So running is stress on your body, even though it's good stress. You're going to stress out your body while running and then give it some time to recover. But if you're always keeping it a little bit too hard, you're just continually building up that stress without giving yourself time to recover from that run, or from being at too high of an effort for your body to really recover from in the first place for where you are in your fitness. There's no judgment associated with that. So the other reason I like rate of perceived exertion is because it's an effort level. It's not a specific pace. So you can't get hung up on like, oh, I should be running an 11-minute mile, or I could do this last week, but I can't do it this week. Rate of perceived exertion kind of gets you out of that mindset and is a little bit more subjective measure for where you're at that day. Maybe you had a really long day at work. Maybe you're taking care of someone, you have kids. Maybe you're just having a lot of other stress. You're moving, you're getting divorced, you're getting married, anything. It could be, a positive or a negative event. It's still all stress on your body. And on those days that you're feeling more stressed, your rate of perceived exertion for what's a 3 out of 10 might be a lot lower. If you're starting for the first time, a 3 out of 10 may look like walking, and that's totally fine. Rate of perceived exertion, again, gives you this more subjective way to tune into what you can do that day in a way that feels good for your body that day and helps you really find that joy in running. So your 3 out of 10 will look like walk running, maybe eventually running faster, whatever it is. It'll change over time, but that effort level will always be the same and will give you a place to come back to that's an appropriate level for your body. Eventually, once you've been running for, several months, you can start talking about going into some of these upper levels. So let me pull up the rate of perceived exertion one more time. So like a 6 to 8 out of 10 are all what you might be doing for like a speed workout or speed intervals, which is something when you're taking higher paces and putting your body through a higher level of exertion. You only want to be doing that if you have at least, like I said, a few months base of consistently running. Consistently running for me is at least 3 times a week, at least 30 minutes each time. Is when you want to maybe start getting into these effort levels. And I'll talk about that on a future coaching call too, of when to really start introducing speed workouts. As the name suggests, you really only need to start putting in speed workouts if you're really worried about getting faster, which could be a goal for you when you're running, maybe not. It can be helpful if you want to challenge yourself mentally and physically, if you want to get faster, if you want to run more than you're walking. But again, if you never get to that place and that's not an important goal for you for running, then you don't necessarily have to worry about this. So it's a little bit counterintuitive, but going slower and easier is going to build your body up to be able to ultimately go faster and longer. Ideally, your 3 out of 10 is it's still going to be a 3 out of 10 effort for you, but that pace just may change over time. Again, maybe it doesn't, also totally fine. But if pace or increased distance is a goal for you, and something that you're curious about with running, then it should continue to change over time as you really build up this aerobic base. Like after a few months, you might notice that your 3 out of 10 means you're running the entire time or running half the time, that instead of walking, 2/3 of the time. But maybe a 3 out of 10 starts to feel like a pretty routine thing, and not something that you really have to think about. It's just like you're on autopilot. There's all kinds of ways to measure your progress. And again, you don't have to make it getting faster or running longer. Progress can just look like you've found a new thing, a new way to move your body that you love doing and that you're consistently doing. But if you're doing walk-run intervals, like we're going to be alternating between our running will be like that 3 to 4 out of 10 effort. And then our walking is going to be back down to a 2 or a 1. So no matter what you're doing, whether it's walk run intervals, whether you're running the entire time, whether you're walking the entire time, you're going to be able to use the rate of perceived exertion scale to be able to find an appropriate pace within that. If you're doing walking only intervals, that could look like a power walk is maybe your 3 out of 10, and then a very slow walk or stopping is your recovery interval of like a 2 out of 10. And these are all concepts that we'll be going over in the 5K Your Way session that I am teaching starting next week on October 19th, 2023, depending on when you're watching this video, maybe one day. Okay, I admittedly started going off on a tangent after that. That wasn't that useful, so I edited it out. But if you want to sign up for 5K Your Way, it's a 6-week course that is at Runners Roost Golden, like I said, on Thursday nights, and it's free because New Balance is sponsoring it. Runners Roost is also hosting and sponsoring, so both of those companies cover my coaching fees, so I can offer it for free for all of you, and it's a really great low-pressure environment to either introduce yourself to running or reintroduce yourself to running. We use run-walk intervals, nobody gets left behind, and the priority is to find a community that helps you enjoy running. So I hope you'll join me. I'll leave a link for it in the comments or notes sections for this video.